I decided to hit the weights, build myself a better body. But when it comes to drawing bodies and the reference for that, there are some tools which you can use to let things come out a little better. DAZ Studio, with their new version 4.6, is really shaping up to be one of the most amazing character creation tools on the market. It can be said that DAZ is kind of a descendant of Poser from Smith Micro. In fact, the company got their start creating content for the Poser market, and the amount of content which they have for their new DAZ Studio is absolutely astounding. Their new Genesis figure is a single mesh which can be morphed into any type of character you can imagine, male or female. And in their content marketplace, you can buy even more morphs for this figure, such as muscle morph packs, weight morph packs, to create the most amazing bodies you can imagine with incredible ease. Now inside DAZ Studio, it works similar to Poser. A simple click can bring out a Genesis figure, which is a very nice high quality mesh which you can begin to manipulate in any way that you like. It's very good for being able to visualize those hard to imagine camera angles and poses which you can use for your drawing reference. Simply choose a pose from their pose library. The software comes with quite a few poses included, and once you locate them in your library, a simple double click will change your character immediately to that new pose. It's that easy to begin playing with your character. Simply choose the pose, and then you have the ability to freely move the camera. This means you can quickly visualize those camera angles and poses that might be very difficult for you to draw from imagination. This makes it an amazing reference tool. This is not to say that it can't be an incredible character creation tool for 3D work, but right now we're looking at what you can do with 2D. Simply choose a pose, choose a camera angle, and you can move around the character to get exactly what you need that you might want to draw. And once you have a pose that you like, you can simply render that pose out and it's ready to go into 2D where you can begin drawing. Now in 2D, I take the pose over to my tablet and I can look at it as a reference, and now I can begin to draw something that might otherwise have been very difficult to draw. Now of course, I may draw my particular character. I may draw things the way that I would like to draw them, but I have this reference. This reference is going to help me draw things that would otherwise be difficult to visualize. For example, drawing hands. When it comes to 3D, anyone knows that the hand can have as many joints and as many poses as an entire body. But when you go to draw the hands, it takes a lot of practice. And there are some poses that you simply cannot imagine, that you have to see to be able to get a grasp of. And now, with reference tools like this, you can begin to work on those type of things with great speed. When a hand is at a somewhat awkward pose, for example, the fingers are moving away from you, or the hand is posed such that the fingers are actually coming out at you, this can be difficult to visualize, and it can also be very difficult to draw. Also, there are poses that the hand takes that you don't normally think about. After all, your own hand is the most natural thing in the world. And sometimes when you grasp things or when you hold your hand in a certain position, the fingers in fact do things you would never expect. Having a reference for that makes drawing great and realistic hands not only possible, but now extremely easy. When drawing the human figure, another issue that often comes up for artists is proportion. There is a reason why some of the best painters and even some of the best illustrators use a model when they do their work. One of the reasons is because we all recognize proper human proportion. It's built into us. We see it every day. And so when it comes to drawing proportion, it can actually be quite difficult to get it just right. This is where powerful reference becomes a powerful tool to help you get those angles and to be able to get those lines exactly where they need to be. When it comes to difficult poses, it's not the things that you normally think about which give an artist problems. It's the things that you really never think about. For example, drawing one hand in a number of different poses, you can practice and eventually become very good at it. But drawing two hands touching, two hands holding each other, two hands doing a pose that you probably never saw before, probably never thought about, that's when it becomes an issue. That's when having a reference will let you see things come together in ways you would not have thought of originally. This is what makes having DAW Studio a very powerful tool. Not everyone can, of course, go out and afford to have a model come over to their house and pose for them. But when you can't, you have tools like this in the 3D world which give you something more. Because working with the physical model, you of course cannot put the camera wherever you want. You cannot put the camera 100 feet above the model. There are a number of things you cannot do in the real world. I'm not necessarily advocating scrapping physical models. Hey, if you can get a beautiful girl to show up to your house naked and pose for your art, by all means do so. But if you can't, and if you don't have the means to get the shots you want, we now have tools and technology today to allow us to create what we want to create without the burdens of the real world to hold us back. If you don't have access to a model, or if you can't sign up for a local life drawing class where you can sit down and draw real people, well, now you have a technique that lets you create your own life drawing class. You can create your own models of any size, any shape, any body type that you like. And best of all, DAW Studio is completely free and the Genesis figure comes with it. Some of the more advanced morphs are not free, but the Genesis figure comes with quite a few morphs to get you started creating the type of characters you want to create to use as a reference for your drawing. You have nothing to lose by checking out this powerful and free tool. It can help you, whether you're doing 2D or 3D, have an amazing reference to create whatever it is that you desire.